Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the SH Figuarts Shinkkchou Seihou Kamen Rider Faiz. And during this review, I will say his name wrong on purpose. If this upsets you, this video will not be for you because I'm going to have my fun. I call him Kamen Rider Fries. It's a joke, and it's stupid and it's corny and I love it. So, with Kamen Rider Fries, one of the cooler things that I've been waiting for years is a renewal. And I'm glad we're at a point now where we have it. I do have a few minor gripes with this, even though it does make it suit accurate. It bothers me that they didn't take the time to simplify something that was kind of oversimplified. And I'll get into that into the video. But I gotta say, taking this guy directly out of the box, it's beautiful. These are one of those figures where no matter how many times I look at it, this is beautiful. I don't, there's nothing that I can say, on first glance, I'm like, oh my god, this thing is terrible. No. It's outright beautiful. I wish we could have added an LED head to begin with, but we didn't. But yeah, it looks really great just right out the box. Now, articulation wise, we're going to have a fantastic time because I've seen everyone putting him in the signature pose from every angle, and guess what? It works. I love it. Keep doing it. It's just proof that we have come a long way. Now, as far as our articulation goes, because of our collar dip here, we can't look directly sideways without flipping our head over, but we still can get it. Just remember to flip the head up and then over our collar, because otherwise you'll cause a little paint scuff that I caused here on the chin by just moving it around too much. But as you can see here, we get a full range of motion with Faiz, which is utterly beautiful. It means looking over at every angle, looking great. Our shoulder pads are suit accurate where they flop around. That's not something I truly enjoy. I would have liked it the older way. But with that being said, it does allow for increased mobility. As you can see here, I was able to reach out and literally hit the L/T pose, lowercase t. But yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Can even go a little higher. Just be careful though. It will wear down the more you use that. We do have a beautiful bicep swivel. We have a rotating hanging joint inside. We have a seamless, beautiful double joint, as you can hold our arm up there. We can pull up just a tad bit on that waist area to allow for extreme mobility here in our waist area. Be careful though how you use your waist, because pressing too hard in certain spots will cause wear down. But as you can see here, lots of mobility and range. It's something that is utterly beautiful on my end, because we're looking at a time when figures could do this, but they would look crazy and wonky in certain parts. But we're filling in all the blanks here, and it looks beautiful. We do have, oh no, we don't have drop down. Oh, so they forego the drop down, and I see I called a little paint scuff. We forego the drop down for a beautiful still leg up, hitting a little higher. He can actually hit a little higher than 90 degrees. We can rotate the thigh swivel. The double joint here allows for maximum movement. I think the boot cut is gonna not allowed to go all the way back, but I'm okay with that. It's a guy in a suit. Now, one of my minor gripes here is going to be our bracelets here for our ankles. These are a tad bit too loose for my liking, to the point where sometimes they get too loose. What you can do is you can actually push them up to hold them in place, because sometimes they are going to get wobbly and wobble around. That may not be for you, so I would suggest you push them up so that they hold in place. But our ankle pivot is beautiful, like O's, where it allows us ankle pivot in and out, and we have a toe pivot as well. We can go backwards and forwards, so that joint is utterly beautiful. Now, as I was saying before, in our pose area, Faiz has enough beautiful range on it that we can actually hit poses like this with relative ease. And he actually can hold the pose. Oh, I just got to balance him out a little proper. Let's make sure we're hitting it right. And this is my lopsided table, so it takes a little bit of extra work. But as you can see here, he's holding that pose. I love everything about that. Now I'm going to pick him up, show you guys. Look, pole to being held. That means when we want to do our signature rider kick for Faiz, and if you're questioning whether or not Faiz can do it, we'll get to that gripe in a second. If we want to do our crimson smash, as you can see here, my boy is hitting it. No issues. High jump kicks, hitting it with no issue. Right? Sideways kicks, hitting it. No issues. Look at that. Look at this. Faiz doesn't even hit kicks like this, but it's good to show it. Oh, wow. So we actually have a turning pivot too. Didn't even know that You can actually turn it here. See, I learned something new, posing it around. That's pretty cool. One of the other minor gripes I have is that with our belt design, this is so accurate and cool, but I feel like the tolerances here for our main piece on our phone is a little rough, to the point where it's hard to actually put it in. But the phone does open, and I think that's beautiful that it can do that. It is true accuracy. But our tolerances here, when popping it in, it's a little rough sometimes. It causes you to have a little bit of frustration, but it does hold for the most part on its own. But any little hit to it will cause it to knock down. And I notice I'm a little ashy. I'm going to fix that off camera. But yeah, so it's a beautiful figure. And with that being said, though, oh, see, I just caused it. With that being said, I do want to jump into the accessories, because I feel like we actually got a lot, but Faiz does come with a lot more. So I want to talk about that, and we shall. So in that case, let's jump to it. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, now we're going to talk about the accessories. But before I do that, I want to apologize for my previous blunder, because early in the video, I actually had this facing the wrong way. The tolerances are actually perfect. I made that mistake earlier by not paying attention, not thinking, because I was a little too excited to talk about the toy. It actually goes down in this way. So it's actually antenna down, right? Do antenna down. We're going to just boop, 555. And then we're going to rotate it down. And as you can see here, it works just fine. So that's my mistake. That's on me. I'm going to own up to that. And that's what I get for being too excited. But now a gripe has now turned into a oopsie, because I did make a mistake, and that's on me. But yeah, it's no longer a gripe. So be aware, I messed up. But with that being said, Faiz is still a good piece. And now we're going to talk about those accessories. First thing I want to do is talk about the hands. As you can see, we have those semi-relaxed hands there. You will get a set of actual relaxed hands. Come on, focus, do your job. There we go. You'll get a set of actual relaxed hands. These are solid. Then we're going to get our open Faiz hands. Right? These can also be held to hold items as well. As you can see, it has that little opening. So when you have like your smaller phone, this is another one of the accessories. This one opens up as well. So let's say you want to hold it. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Sorry, I had a Scooby-Doo moment. As you can see here. Now, as you will see here, there we go. It holds it just fine. And as you can see, I'm shaking it up just a bit. Doesn't fall out, doesn't flop. Perfect. Next up, you'll get some item holding hands. These hands also work for holding the Crimson Smasher, as well as being on the Faiz bike. And not included, but if you do have the sword from your previous releases, this hand can hold the sword from those said previous releases by just opening up the hands and popping it in there. So that's pretty cool. Next, you'll have trigger hands. And that's for when you use the gun for blaster mode. Oh my god, my focus is all crazy today. It is not focusing for the life of me. There we go. As you can see here, we have our trigger hands. And I apologize for that, because I guess it is the new lighting. But yeah, we have our trigger hands. And again, if you have the phone, which you will have when it comes to the figure, here is the actual phone mode. I'm going to put it in the wrong hand, but it does fit perfectly. Then you will get, last but not least, fist hands. Always a plus when you want to punch out your enemies. And it's obviously really good. Now, as far as those other accessories, to our sides, just going to pop these up. When you pop this off, there are two modes to this. One with our card on the inside slot, but you'll get an extra one for when you want to be accurate and take that card out. So as you can see, it has that clear piece to take it out. Just like with our phone, when you remove the main key for the power up, and you're going to slide it on this side. So right, you can actually take this off. We can pop it on down here for when we want to do our finisher. So you'll get the closed version, which is you'll see here. Then we have our opened version, which you'll place here for our finisher kick. I'm going to pop that in right now so you can see it. And I'm trying to pop it in just like they would in the show, but I'm just going to just pop it in. And I'm actually quite scared because that is a very tight tolerance. So please be careful and be aware. But as you can see, for our finisher, we have it on there for our pointer when you want to do your rider kick. Last but not least, the smasher, which I showed you before. Focus is not doing his job today, and I'm a little pissed with him. This opens up for our punching tool to be held by a punching hand, and it looks really, really solid. So you'll see all the cool punching photos. Trust me, it's gonna be plenty. With that being said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna power down, and we're going to head into our size comparison. We're gonna compare it to the old Faiz, as well as old Faiz figures, and a few other lines. So see you guys. Now we're here at the size comparison. I got a bunch of stuff to compare to, whether it's new riders, old riders, things like that. The first thing I'm gonna do is compare it to the old Kamen Rider Faiz. So let's get it. Here we are with the old Faiz on the old body. My man had those old die-cast feet, and you can just see how far we've come with our riders. And I feel really good about it, because this one held us down for a very long time, even with his little tiny head. But we're in a good spot, man, and I appreciate how much has come from it. It's a really good thing. And this is the 20th anniversary Kicks version, so it's still crazy that they were just making anniversary riders. And here we are. Ooh, excuse me. But that being said, though, here is Kamen Rider Delta. And then we have Kaiser. Right? And as you can see here, I can't wait for the crew to be redone. What's crazy is, right, they just announced the Wolf Orphanok, right? I have the old one here. And you'll see him when I do photos as well. Let's take two of these guys away. So here we are with the Wolf Orphanok. And he's still bigger, so that means the new one is going to be even bigger. So I'm super excited about that. And he's on P Bandai right now. It's like 80 bucks. And I still think that's worth it, considering how much bigger it's going to be than this guy. So I'm super excited for that, right? Let's take Delta away. Next up, we're going to compare to a Shocker Gelman and a Kamen Rider Geats. So here is a Shocker, an old school one, that Showa era goodness. And here we are with the new Geats, so we can see how the Reiwa eras size out with the Shinkkchou Seihou. And the Shinkkchou Seihou is still smaller. I don't know if you guys can see just how crazy that is. But yeah, it's a big deal. Like, these guys are going to be bigger than most Shinkkchou Seihou riders. That upscaling does make a difference. Trust me, it does. Next up, we're going to compare to some Lightning Collection. So here we are with a Lightning Collection Kaijin, right? Or Monster Man, or whatever you want to call it. As well as a Lightning Collection humanoid character. And as you can see, the Reiwas are closer to Lightning Collection, but Shinkkchou Seihou, it's still pretty good. I like that our monsters will be still pretty dope. I love the Lightning Collection monsters. I still have to get Minotaur. Man, I've been slacking. There's a lot going on at once. Next up, we're going to compare to a G.I. Joe and a Valaverse. Alright, so here are our other 6-inch figures compared to it. And as you can see, they tower over Faiz, right? Next, the other thing to tower over Faiz is going to be Mezco and Legions. So here we are with a Cosmic Legion, as well as a Black Skull, right? These guys are gigantic. But I feel like Legions actually still fits here, as we can mix and match parts to make new cool Kaijin. So that'll be dope. Last but not least, on a tiny scale, if you want to add ninjas to the mix, here is a Fush Toys Sekat. And as you can see, Kamen Riders actually scale up pretty well with these guys. But yes, this has been utterly fantastic. I love the figure, and I made a whoopsie. But again, I'm glad I caught it, because I would have looked crazy. And it'd be like that sometimes, you know, mistakes are made. But what's really cool is that we are getting renewals of figures that came out a very, very long time ago. And it's cool that a decade later, we're getting updated, cool versions. So I'm super excited. I do hope that we get Blaster and Excel, as well as Delta, Kaiser, and a new Auto version. It'll be dope. I'm going to test out Auto version later, see how it squares out size-wise. I'll do some pictures. But in the meantime, guys, please, thank you so much for watching. Please go out and watch Kamen Rider. You'll really enjoy it. And as always, please, be good, do good. Drink your water, guys.